Rockingham tests discipline. Tonight, the Fire for Effect Arca series heads back to one of stock car racing's great old proving grounds, the Rock, where speed is easy to find and considerably harder to preserve. The surface asks an uncomfortable question of every driver in the field: how much of the race car are you willing to use right now? Attack too hard early and those quick lap times can disappear along with the tires. Be too conservative in the competition may build a gap that is impossible to recover. The winner tonight will have to find that narrow line between aggression and patience, managing the car through long, fast corners while constantly adjusting as the grip begins to disappear. And then there's history underneath every lap. The Rock opened in 1965 and became a fixture of American stock car racing before returning to the national spotlight in 2025. In iRacing, the traditional 1.017 mile version of the Rock remains one of the most demanding tire management challenges on the oval calendar. Tonight's competition represents something larger as well, as the Fire for Effect Foundation operates under the message by veterans for veterans, providing material and financial assistance to military veterans who are struggling and need support. That mission brings this community together. The Rock provides the battlefield. The tires will fade, the racing line will move, and patience may prove every bit as valuable as outright speed. This is the Fire for Effect Arca Racing Series at the Rock. Let's go racing. Welcome in, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned here on the Digital Racing Sports Network on behalf of the Fire for Effect Arca Series. It's a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. As usual, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi. Let's take a look at our sponsors and give them some gratitude. Welcome to Bubba Meyers Custom Designs and a partner of Juicy Spider Designs. They are one of the partners here tonight to help us out get from green to checkered flag. Also, if you're ever in need of setups, make sure you look at RKM Setup Shops, engineered by Nexus for all of our Arca cars. Taking a look at the schedule, it's Bristol, Pocono, Phoenix, Echo Park, The Rock, Iowa, Kansas, ending on August 28th. Take a look at the starting grid. It'll be Derek Darby and Jason Chalky on that first row. Row number 2 belonging to Chasen McCook and Christopher Reel on row 2. Row number 3 goes the way for Sean Kieser and Jason Pope. After that, it'll be DJ Patterson and Sean Thomas. Jay Pope from Fire for Effect and Devin Bellamy will round out further back. Then we have Christian Echapare and Matthew Whitney rounding things out there. As we take a quick lap around the Rock, this is going to be a quick and fast race. $125 laps on the clock, folks. Green, green, green is in the air. We're ready to go racing. The two of Derek Darby for Fire for Effect is the one to take off like a rocket ship into the restart zone in front of Jason McCook, who is trying to bump uglies on the restart. DJ Patterson and Christopher Reel are separated by a near country mile as Jay Pope is going to be the other Fire for Effect car to throw down. Jason Pope in the background to get things done in the number 34. Looking forward to Jay Pope and Christopher Reel right now, right up the road. Getting a little slidey coming in through turn 2 on the opening run is not going to help out your run, and neither is that, Jay. Getting a little loose on exit of 3 sure is going to challenge your momentum that you're trying to carry to the checkered flag. Derek Darby pulls out the fast lap of the event, but quickly taken away by Jason McCook. Now taken away by Christopher Reel. Jason McCook not only snatches away the fast lap of the race, but snatches away the lead of this event as he gets around Derek Darby. Here we go down the back stretch, and look who it is. DJ Patterson has gotten his neck involved in this as well. Derek Darby chases down Jason McCook from ASR, and now it's going to be a side-by-side run between the 2 and the 3. A little bit of smoke getting kicked up in the background from DJ Patterson as he locks up the brakes coming into 2. Jason McCook trying to snap back for ASR, doing a great job of challenging Derek Darby, but will this control the field when we get down to it at the end of the day? Because the problem we're going to have is, are the drivers asking too much of the vehicles too early on in this event? We're only 10 laps under our belt at this point in time. We've already got a great battle brewing for the lead of this one. Speaking of, there goes Derek Darby down to the low groove on the number 3 of Jason McCook. It leaves himself a little bit vulnerable with the door open. Definitely hurts him coming across the stripe as he stays up high on the entrance to 1 and 2. One of the things we haven't even talked about yet was going to be green flag runs and caution-filled laps, but we have seen none of those yet. So we'll stay on here with the drivers that keep us entertained. The drivers in the lead of this one, Derek Darby, Jason McCook, and DJ Patterson, providing us with all the entertainment and action tonight as they control the field on board with Patterson. Excuse me, Darby. There's Jason McCook right there to the inside line. Darby still trying to run his line in that number 2, but Jason McCook keeps on challenging every attempt he throws here at the Rock. Oh, that's a big hit. That's a big hit for the 00, Matthew Whitney. I wonder if that's going to be a caution. Solo incident for Matthew Whitney leaves us caution free. And Matthew Whitney able to come down pit road to serve the repairs on that vehicle that are needed. Jason McCook, Derek Darby, and DJ Patterson separated by a blanket of around 2 seconds as the gap opens up here on lap 17. The Rock or Rockingham is one of those racetracks where the stopwatch can lie to you early on in the run. The driver can be spectacular for about 10 laps and completely use up the tires needed for the next 30. Take a look at the steering wheel here. The more correction a driver needs through the center, the more energy they're putting on that right front tire. Look at how much minimal input Chase McCook is trying to put in, all the way from 4 to 1. Black flag for Devin Bellamy. We'll send him back to the back of the pack. And then number 44, unfortunate there. And that will be due to pit lane speed limit, if I'm not mistaken, as he just came down pit road a few moments ago. It's going to be a very quick race if the drivers keep on running this way. Another 100 laps are going to go by in a blink of an eye, and 30 minutes later, we'll be done with this event. Let's go racing here at the Rock. What can Jason McCook do for Derek Darby now as the fire for effect? Car leads us around. Gaps opening up and closing, but right now it's Darby and McCook up at the front, the sharp end of the field. Here we go. Chase McCooks begins to catch up. But the gap still remains about half a second between the duo. Now McCook falls back even to 3/4 of a second here. Look at how big the gap is between them. So it will be the closest margin on the racetrack to keep our eyes on the lap times. Well, they start to come down for DJ Patterson a little bit. But the best lap between the trio is going to be Chase McCook with a 24:24 last time by. Jay Pope in the mix right now, but goes down below the apron. Sean Thomas, the driver, to get advantage over Jay Pope's mistake. And Pope's going to come down pit road here on lap 35. McCook from ASR chases down Derek Darby in this continued battle. Patterson rests his head in third with 4 position gain. Christopher Reel on his way to pit road with Sean Kieser in tow as well. Jay Pope is already on his way out, and does this mean that the fuel windows are starting to diminish for the drivers? It will be tires and fuel for the duo. 4 in fuel by the looks of it. And a long pit stop there for Sean Kieser. Service should be concluded unless he's getting damage repaired. I'm not seeing any incidents for Kieser. DJ Patterson's going to be the next driver in. And when will Darby and McCook decide enough's enough as well? Trocky chasing down Christopher Real, the 13 and the 46 here. DJ Patterson here, chasing down Pope up the row, but the three-way battle in the background isn't even for position. I believe that's Chasen McCook and Derek Darby getting involved with the number 26. That will be Sean Thomas, who hasn't taken a pit stop yet, but is in third position, just getting lapped on pace alone from Derek Darby and Chasen McCook. Now this is where things start to get a bit trickier around a small 1 mile racetrack. Now what can McCook do from P2 to chase down Derek Darby? And what are these fuel loads doing for the drivers? Half the field or majority of them have come in already, while the top three continue to stay out. Darby and McCook, the two leaders of this one. Here as we approach the halfway point, I think the drivers are going to make it to make this a one-stopper. Charisse, welcome in, welcome in. If it isn't one of my favorite people of all time, welcome in, Charisse. How did you find us, Charisse? How did you find us again? Unbelievable. Charisse just perusing YouTube has found us yet again. Hopefully you're not driving this time, Charisse. Well, that's amazing that you found us. Welcome in to the Major League Sim Racing event, the Fire for Effect Championship, presented by MLSR and partnered with the Digital Racing Sports Network. Let's take a look at those paint schemes. We got the ride for Chili's Dente machine. We have Chase McCook in the ever classy number 3 Wrangler. What about the 26? Ooh, the Sea Bears. Those CBs, excuse me, the CBs. Okay. Fire for Effect. Christopher Reel. J Pope, also Fire for Effect. DJ Pope, Hubs Rubs. Pass for the lead as the number 2 comes down pit road. And then we have, of course, number 46, Jason Chalky in the Bart 2 Ready Mix. John Kieser in the MLSR Red. Then we have Devin Bellamy, Matthew Whitney, and Christopher Echapare, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. Those are the liveries, Charisse. Take your pick. Take your poison. Lap 59, not close enough for Derek Darby to make it halfway. Sean Thomas, added insult to injury, gets a black flag penalty. Here comes Jason McCook. Now will he get the undercut or the overcut, excuse me, on Darby? Take a look here at Patterson and J Pope. Any big crashes so far? Rooting for the real to win. No big crashes so far, Charisse. It's been a very green race up until this point. Of course, that's going to mean that we're about to have a big one in any second. Jason Pope and Matthew Whitney both faced with meatball flags so far. Everybody's just been running a very quiet race up until this point. Derek Darby and Chasen McCook are going to be their two championship fighters right now. Separated by 7.2 seconds. That's how bad the undercut strategy worked out for Derek Darby. Jason Chalky in that number 46 in 6th place right now. Gap between McCook and Derek Darby now begins to open up a little bit as Devin Bellamy goes off the track and goes back to the garage. That keeps us caution free for now. There's the 26, Sean Thomas. He's down the order in 7th, was in 3rd before the pit stop cycle, but hemorrhaging couldn't be taken care of. And now Derek Darby in the lead of this one in front of Chasen McCook. The gap still remains 10 seconds. What a steep order to climb. Here comes around number 13 of Christopher Reel. Two drivers on completely different strategies as Reel came in on 36 and Derek Darby pushed to 57. DJ Patterson being the next one to call it done and come down pit road. At least for now, this stint is complete. quick pit stop for DJ Patterson. This is not, as he exceeds 30 seconds in the box. Maybe a long pit stop for Patterson there. There we go. Finally, after 49 seconds, a full fuel tank, and he's back out ready to rumble. This cycles Patterson back to where he started in P7. I think that's the number 13 of Christopher Reel. Yes, it is. Getting by Sean Thomas there in the number 26. So far, it's been a pretty sporadic race. Some drivers have only taken 36 laps of fuel. Some drivers have taken 57 laps of fuel. We've seen as long as 59, but no one seems to be able to go the full 62 and a half miles that they need to make it to the checkered flag. So with that being said, a few drivers have chopped this one up into thirds, or fourths, I should say, and planning on making 3 pit stops, and a few of the drivers are planning on making only 1, but now they're definitely going to have to make 2 to make it to the end, unless we have a caution to break up the action. '26 staying slotted in with the number 13 of Christopher Reel. Thomas chases down Reel, and there comes the 3 of Chase and McCook around the both of them. Number 3 slots back in underneath the number 13, looks for a little bit of daylight coming into 2 and 3. And there he goes, chops it up like a Rue NASCAR driver on the number 13 of Christopher Reel. Yeah, Sharice, we do race every Friday night. Let's take a look at that schedule. Bristol, Pocono, Phoenix. We missed last week at Echo Park, but we're back here at the Rock now. And then we're going to head out to Iowa in 1 week's time, and then Kansas to finish things off on August 28th. Every Friday night at 6 p.m., we go green flag running. Thank you, Sharice. We'd really love to see your guys' support. And you might see some familiar faces around. Chasen McCook, Jason Trockey. You might know a couple of these guys. Give you something to root for, and maybe we can drag a couple of the other gentlemen into this league. That would be absolutely fantastic. Support the Fire for Effect Foundation, a Veterans for Veterans organization that helps with financial support and mental health awareness. Jockey into the pits, on his way out now. DJ Patterson comes through the pits now in the number 36. Jason McCook still chases down Derek Darby in pursuit of glory in the top step of the podium. Derek Darby led the race starting this event. He's hoping to end it in the same stature. Christopher Reel comes into the lane on lap. This is going to be number 93, excuse me, for the leader, but Christopher Reel down a few will be on lap 90 when he comes down the lane. Very long pit stop for Reel. We'll look at Sean Kieser now in the 52. Been a very quiet but very green race now. Derek Darby leads Jason McCook, and here's Jay Pope, a driver who now is up into third with 6 positions gained. Christopher Reel running a 4th place run right now. Sean Thomas in 5th. Chalky in 6th. DJ Patterson in 7th. Sean Kieser in 8th. And we'll have Jason Pope, Devin Bellamy, and Matthew Whitney all in the pits right now. Jockey trying to get laps back. That will be Jay Pope He's able to get under and through there. The number 46 down 4 positions from where he started, but coming in on lap 85. Should have enough fuel to make it to the checkered flag. Derek Darby, Jason McCook, and Christopher Reel all into the pits. Let's see what happens now. "23 laps left to go. Let's see what takes place with these final pit stops. Pitch perfect there for the number 2. Is the same for the 3 in the background. Oh, the 13 with a big hit to the wall. Has a ton of damage and will miss the pit stop to boot to add insult to injury. Jay Pope getting his service now. Will come back out on pit road after getting fueled up. It was a very quick one, 15 seconds. Where's Trocky? Where's Trocky? Trocky is through on Jay Pope. Sean Thomas in the number 26 right up the road. That seemed easy as apple pie. 46 of Jason Trocky now finds himself sitting in a podium position. Gap to the cars ahead, a minute and a half, but coming down lightning quick as Trocky could have the fresher tires. Jason McCook and Derek Darby are nose to tail in their battle for the lead as they're separated by just about nothing. Darby around the outside of McCook makes it work at 1 and 2. Through 3 and 4 at the Rock. Drivers are always questioning where the right line is as it's constantly changing. John Kieser comes down pit road on the here and now. Here comes Darby, McCook, and Trocky. Remember a few laps ago, we said that there was only going to be a few laps left for Trocky to catch up. It seems to be the case still. The gap of 1 minute and 45 seconds has quickly come down to just 1 minute and 6 seconds. He's got to pluck away at the laps as quickly as he possibly can. Take a look at Jay Pope here. He's duking it out behind with Sean Thomas, but a lap away from his opponent. "15 laps remain. That'll be a short 7-minute run to the checkered. Down to the final 10 laps. Sean Thomas gets a black flag penalty. Speeding in the pits. McCook is too far back to make anything happen to Derek Darby now. A 7-second gap with 10 laps left to go. He'd have to be at least a quarter of a second quicker. Typically, the max speed you can do in the pits is around 50 miles an hour, Charisse. For the safety of the pit crews and the teams. No, it's not a silly question at all, Charisse. Typically, it's anywhere from 37 to 50 miles an hour in the pit lane, and that's for the safety of the crews, the teams, the drivers who are getting service done to their vehicles, where mechanics can technically be out of the vehicle or outside of the car working on it, right? And then if another car is coming at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour down the pit lane, creates a hazard on the racetrack or in the pit lane. So what they've done is they've created a pit lane speed limit so that between these cones on the racetrack, you cannot exceed this speed for the safety of the drivers. We'll take a look here, and you can see those cones right there. And that's where that would be at the entrance. And then here are the cones on exit right beyond the camera here. Sorry, Chris. Was looking like a good possible podium for you. Quite possible today we had the car and had spare tires for the big run. It looked to be the way, my friend. It looked to be the way. White flag, and Derek Darby is going to be the driver to accept it. Derek Darby has done a great job to run it from green to checkered flag. And he'll run it down. Jason McCook in P2. Jason Trocchi rounds out that podium. Go ahead, Derek Darby. Enjoy the celebrations and burn it down, brother. Take a look at the results. Derek Darby led us for 108 laps in front of Chasen McCook. Jason Trockey, hard charge going the way for Jay Pope. In fourth place, Sean Kieser in fifth, DJ Patterson, Sean Thomas, Christopher Reel, Devin Bellamy, Jason Pope, Matthew Whitney, and Chris Echapare. We're going to round out the 12 drivers. Let's get talking to our drivers now. See if they're ready to talk to us. Not seeing Derek Darby, Chasen McCook, or Jason Trockey. We'll give them a few minutes to try to get to the interview room. Oh, there they are. First, we'll talk to Jason Trockey and see how his race went. Hey, Jason, how's it going? And that number 46, the Jet Fab machine, finding a podium isn't too shabby for the Fire for Effect Foundation.
No, it was definitely better than what I thought I was going to end up finishing.
How did you think the race was going to go at the Rock with quite tricky runs and changing lines of speed? You know, what does it take to get out on top spot here?
Well, not spinning out on like lap 10 definitely would help, like I did, but I think just patience. I think a lot of guys were pitting early when you could take the run out a little bit further, you know, like 40 or 50 on a set of tires, and just manage your tires really, because fuel wasn't an issue. So I think it was just being safe, and it was a great race. There was really, you know, no wrecks, nothing bad. So just patience.
It was a perfect race to execute your single lap run and show us what you're made of. Jason Trockey, who would you like to shout out and who would you like to thank here in the Fire for Effect broadcast booth?
I'd like to thank Fire for Effect for putting this series on, and of course you guys for broadcasting it, and Jet Fab and American Sim Racer. That's all I got. And my teammate Chase McCook. It's fun racing with him.
As always, thank you for your support here at the Fire for Effect Foundation. Jason Trockey, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you, bud.
Next up, we're going to have Chasen McCook to talk to. Chasen McCook from Team ASR had a steep battle all night long with Derek Darby, the Fire for Effect car, number 2. But Chasen McCook will tell us all about that battle and how things could have gone maybe a little bit better for him.
Man, it was it started off good, man. Me and Derek had some good racing early on. That was a lot of fun. We made our first pit stop, and I let him get out. Well, I tried to stay out a little longer to see if I could kind of play a strategy with the pits there, maybe put him a lap down, but it didn't work out in my favor. I actually kind of tagged the wall and slowed myself down while I was trying to make that happen. And so when we came out, it put him like 8 or 9 seconds out in front of me. I gained up a little bit of that time, but I knew at that point, like, we were staying green flag. We had no cautions. A caution would have really helped put me back in the race. But I knew if we stayed green, my only option was to go in with a no tire pit stop, which I did. I ran that entire race on 2 sets of tires. So I went in quick fueled back up, and I got out back ahead of him, but it just wasn't enough. And yeah, my tires were cooked, and he ran me down. But all in all, we ran a good race. I'm super happy that my teammate Jason Trockey was able to put it on the podium as well, 3rd place. So all in all, man, we had a great night, man. It's super fun running this league with the MLSR guys, man. We're having a lot of fun out there.
It does look like a lot of fun. You guys are filling this grid every single week. Chasen McCook, who'd you like to shout out and who'd you like to thank here on the podium tonight?
I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Twin City Home and Hardware, Jet Fab, and of course all our guys over at American Sim Racer Esports League and Broadcasting. Other than that, man, it was oh, and of course, got to give a shout out to Major League Sim Racing, man. You guys are putting on an awesome league. You're doing a great job. I know there's hiccups and whatnot, and it can be stressful, but you guys are doing fantastic. We're really enjoying it out there.
Glad to hear it, Chase McCook. Thank you for your support for the Fire for Effect Foundation. We look forward to talking to you in 1 week's time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Last but not least, we'll talk to Derek Darby in that number 2. And Derek Darby was the driver who was able to bring it home at the end of the day and the top spot. How does it feel to beat Dente?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It was a great race, a lot of fun. Led most of the race, so I'm just trying to manage lappers as we come across them, and had a good little battle with Chase early in the race, but able to pull away and just bring it home. It's a good race.
What does it take to pull out a victory here at a track that's so tricky? The Rock is only 1 mile long, but it feels like it's much bigger and much badder than that.
Yep, Rockingham is all about tire management. So, backing up your corners as your tires wear out, kind of working up the track a little bit as the run goes on. But, we came to the track with a great car. Shout out to RKM for the setup. And my teammates, Fire for Effect Racing. It's been a lot of fun this season.
Definitely. Derek Darby, who would you like to shout out and who would you like to thank tonight here in Victory Lane from Rockingham?
Yeah, man. Of course, like I said, I'd just like to thank my teammates, Fire for Effect, RKM Setups, my wife, my son, Christina and Cooper. Big shout out to my chat. We're live on TikTok right now, and they're gassing me up. So, it's a lot of fun. And thank you as well for broadcasting the race. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, Derek Darby, for supporting the Fire for Effect Foundation. We hope to see you next week back up on the podium. Have a great night, brother, and stay safe out there.
All right. Appreciate it.
And that's going to wrap things up for us here on behalf of the Digital Racing Sports Network, on behalf of Major League Sim Racing. I'll extend my gratitude and thanks to all the drivers joining us here at The Rock, all the fans watching at The Rock as well. Charisse in the YouTube chat, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, as always. Been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, but all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this. Have a great night, everybody, and most importantly, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.